This, I'm opening up some questions that we got from the last course that we did on last week. Let me go ahead and open that up so I can share it with okay. Give me just a second here. I want to make sure that I'm sharing so I can share it with all right. Here we go. Want to make sure I'm sharing it everywhere because I've got all kinds of text coming in. People trying to make sure that they're in the right spot to get this. So give me just a second because I want to make sure that I'm communicating with everybody. Okay, so let me see. How many people were able to catch us on our very last session that we did having to do with how to monetize your land? Specifically, what we talked about was how to maximize in the sale and the monetizing of your land. Just want to see how many people were able to get on that, get in on that. That was really, I think it was very beneficial um, to a lot of people. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up so that we can get into answering some of these questions. Okay. So, last time we talked about quite a few things. I mean, we covered a lot before, and I'm going to try to see if we can narrow down some of the things that we went over before because it was a lot. And when I say before, I'm talking about not necessarily the last session that we did on I can help you get top price for your sale and for monetizing your land. That was the session we just did at 4 o'clock. But when I speak of last time, I'm actually speaking of last week when we made all of this available. That's what I'm referring to. All right. Okay, here we go. All right. So the biggest question that I've been getting over and over and over again is how do we finance? How do we finance purchasing land? How do we finance purchasing land? So, firstly, if you've taken a look at any of the previous courses that we've done, what we've been talking about is why land ownership during this time could be extremely beneficial to everyone. Firstly, we talked about agriculture and how agriculture is trending now. What's happening in terms of our agriculture and our livestock, cattle. So when we look at those type things, a lot of people become very interested in becoming independently sustainable. Okay. So a lot of people are looking to purchase land and have a dwelling place on that land. So what you can do is you can purchase your land. It could be, 10, 20, 30 plus acres. And you may want to have your home on the site and subdivide 5 acres to go with your home so that if, you want a home equity line or whatever it is that you want to do with your dwelling place, you can do that. Then you can have a survey done to subdivide your other land so that you can lease it for monetary purposes and create non-performance income for you that will help you to pay off your property or to pay for livestock, to pay for the equipment and stuff that you're going to need for agriculture. These companies are willing to do long-term leases. Some of them are agricultural companies, and they're willing to lease your land for agricultural purposes and work into the lease a percentage of the harvest that they get to come to you. That could be a part of your agreement that you can negotiate if you're not interested in farming, but you know that it's necessary for you to get in a position where you're going to be more sustainable. So if things continue to decline with our agriculture, you'll still have a way to eat fairly clean, safe food and not have to be at the mercy of what's happening in the marketing of our agriculture, if that makes sense. Okay, so a lot of people are interested in purchasing land. Not just that, land is a wonderful outlet for monetizing. You can use it for various ways in order to produce additional revenue. But the biggest thing is, how do people get land finance? Well, there's a company called Farmer Mac. And what they do is they underwrite and they guarantee lenders who are willing to finance for land. They want to increase the purchase of land. They want to increase those who are interested in purchasing land. So they do that by guaranteeing lenders that are willing to make land loans. They'll guarantee that loan for them. They'll underwrite them and they'll support them, being willing to assist in financing land. So you've got companies like Ag America Lending, Farm Credit Bank, Farm Credit Services of America, Farmers and Merchants Bank. Now, you may be interested in farming at all. You may just want to buy some land in a rural area. You may want to start in agricultural or rural development in those areas. These companies will help you finance, whether you're interested in farming or not, but you want to purchase land. They will help you if you're talking about more than at least 5 acres. If the land value is going to exceed the value of the improvement that's on the property, the house that's on the property, they're interested in assisting you with that land. Farm South Credit, Mid-Atlantic Farm Credit, Southern States Cooperative, United Farm Credit Services. These are multiple companies that are willing to finance you if you are going to be purchasing a home with more than 5 acres, or if you're going to just be purchasing just land, just raw land with no development. Farmer Mac backs these companies, but they'll also let's say you've been dealing with, you're an investor and you've got a lender that you deal with, but they're not approved as a Farmers Mac lender. They can complete a package that will cause them to, or allow them to be approved by Farmer Mac, be placed on the lender's list of approval for companies that Farmer Mac will underwrite and guarantee the loans that are made. That's a pretty tall order, but they will do it to add your lender to their list. So I'm hoping that answered that question. They were talking about financing, and I wanted to provide some of the best ways for them to be able to finance rural property. See, because Farmer Mac is a secondary market for agricultural and rural infrastructure credit. If a company wants to loan on rural property, but they don't have a way of doing that because they don't have an underwriter or someone to guarantee or underwrite that loan, Farmer Mac will do it. And they have a package that your lender can complete that will help them to get approved. So hopefully that answered that question. Let's see what other questions we've had. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yes. So the question says, USDA, I don't know if it's a question or a statement. USDA supports rural development. Yes, they do. They do. So USDA guaranteed loan purchase, loans that are guaranteed by the USDA to support rural development. They do support rural development. And in cases when you're dealing with USDA, there's no down payment involved. So their underwriting criteria is a little different. I think that they require a credit score of at least 620, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's 620. You may want to check me on that. I know with all of the Farmer Mac guaranteed lenders, you have to have a credit score of at least 640 or higher. Debt to income ratio, meaning that all of your debts, including your homeowner's insurance and your property taxes, along with the proposed mortgage payment, should not exceed more than 41% of your maximum, your gross income. And of course, they make adjustments because sometimes the land value is so excellent that they'll make adjustments for you in various ways. So I wanted to say that to you so you don't say, well, I don't qualify in this way or the other way. Remember, Farmer Mac is interested in increasing the amount of rural development. So there are all kind of adjustments that can be made. What you have to do is you have to reach out to those particular, because you may have other assets that will also help them to offset some of the underwriting criteria. The biggest thing is you want to get involved with these lenders. Go ahead and get your application done. When you go in there, they're going to ask you for your balance sheet, for your, it's almost like a financial statement. What they want to see is your assets versus your liabilities. So, they're looking at whether or not you already own property, own land, own a home, own a car, something that's paid for, where it's fewer liabilities than there are assets. Fewer liability than the amount of assets that you have. But I don't want to scare you. Even if you don't have any of these things, but you want to purchase land, Farmer Mac wants to increase the amount of rural property owners and rural property development. So there are ways that some of these lenders have that they can work with you. And they may not be able to do it on a mass scale, which is why they wouldn't advertise it on a mass scale. But you can walk into their office and say, I want to purchase XYZ land. And the value of the land may be so excessive that they're very interested in making you that loan to purchase that land. And they will work out a way that supports you and that kind of streamline some of the things that you need to have done in order to get you financed, especially if you want to purchase it and you want to do some non-performance income. You want to do something to monetize a portion of the land, even though you're going to be living on it, you want to monetize a certain portion of it. Like maybe you want to do solar farming, or something like that, or someone is interested in leasing that land for solar farming purposes, or you want to lease it out to someone for that purpose. See, that's a way that you're generating income, which will also make them more susceptible to wanting to make a loan to you to purchase that property. So I'm hoping that you're understanding what I'm saying. I'm saying to you that Farmer Mac is extremely interested in increasing rural development. So if you're interested in purchasing land, this is the best time to do it. The best time that you want to do it. So when you're talking about farm and ranch type of purchase commitments, lenders can obtain credit protection from Farmer Mac for specified eligible loans. Again, this is talking about if you have a lender and they're not on the Farmer Mac list, but they're your lender, you've dealt with them for a while. What happens is they can obtain credit protection from Farmer Mac for specified eligible loans. So they may charge a modest annual fee. Farmer Mac will commit to purchase any of the scheduled loans that default. So they guarantee that loan. So if the lender says, well, we don't make farm loans or land loans, if the value of the house, if the value of the land exceeds the value of the house or the building that's on the land, we don't make those. We don't make large acreage loans. If the house and 5 acres can't support the maximum amount of the value, we don't make them, because we can't support ourselves into default. This is when Farmer Mac steps in and says, listen, we will charge you a fee. It's an annual fee, but we will commit to purchase any of the scheduled loans that you make on rural property if they default. So it's like a loss protection that can be structured with the lender retaining a portion of the risk. That's if they desire to. If they don't want to retain a portion of the risk, they can pay a fee to Farmer Mac, and Farmer Mac will carry the larger portion of the risk. Yeah. So it works like this. So the lender identifies the loan for which they're seeking credit approval. So that's the first thing. The lender's gonna let them know which loan they're seeking credit approval for. So let's say you go into their office, your lender's going to reach out to Farmer Mac regarding the type of loan that you're looking for credit approval for. The first thing. Okay. So then after that's done, then the lender tells Farmer Mac, to what degree of protection they're looking for. If they want full protection or if they want partial protection against loss, then Farmer Mac's going to review that loan. They'll approve the loan according to whatever their credit requirements are, or they can offset a few things based on what the lender is thinking they can do to help structure the loan. So that means, like, if the person is not meeting all the credit requirements for Farmer Mac, but the lender knows that they can help offset some of the areas in which the borrower is not qualifying, then they can negotiate that with Farmer Mac, and Farmer Mac will still guarantee the loan. Now, once it's approved, then the lender pays an annual commitment fee for protection to retain the loans on its balance sheet. They keep the loan on their balance sheet. That means that they can continue to earn the interest from the loan because the lender is going to keep it on their balance sheet. And if the loan defaults, then Farmer Mac purchases the loan at par, whatever the bottom line cost was that they agreed. Yeah, that's how it works. I just wanted to give you some of the details of how your lender can benefit from making that land loan, that rural land loan, even if they don't normally do those type of loans, because Farmer Mac is willing to underwrite. They're willing to guarantee and retain a portion of the risk if there should happen to be a default. Okay. So what's happening is that way your lender eliminates all or at least portion of the credit risk that might be identified on the loans, which will make them more eager to make loans to you and other people who want to purchase rural property. Okay. So having said that, I also want to say this to you because I see we only have a few minutes left. I want to make sure that you know that if you have less than perfect credit, you can still get one of these loans to purchase land. Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing. You're not going to get charged through the wazoo. Yeah. You're not going to get charged an exorbitant amount in terms of interest, because that's normally what happens. Now, people get charged so much money as it pertains to their financing, and so they don't want to get it because the interest rates are so high. But in this class, see, you guys that are watching, you get a chance to understand how you can get a company that normally wouldn't make these types of loans, but they do make high risk loans, to make a loan to you without charging you the high risk cost. I'm hoping this is making sense to you. And the way that they go about doing it, the way that they can go about making you that loan and not passing on that cost of high risk to you, is because Farmer Mac, once again, will be willing to guarantee it. That's the part that I really want you to see. I want you to understand that. So if you're talking about non-conventional lenders, you can go with some of the non-conventional lenders. Why? Because a lot of the non-conventional lenders are willing to make the loans for you to purchase land. They're willing to do it because they understand how, of course, you can get that Farmer Mac guarantee, and they'll be looking for that. Okay, let me check to make sure there are no questions, because I'm just going on and on and on. And the last time I did that, there were questions, and I had to end up asking the questions. Answering the questions later. So to prevent that from happening now, I am just going to just peruse through here and make sure that there are no questions. All right. Okay. I don't see any there. One more spot before we close out. And I know that can be really irritating to you guys, and I apologize, but there's so many people that watch these. I want to do everything I can to service those who are interested in purchasing land. And I know you say, well, why is she always talking about land? Is that I'm a realtor who can help you with any type of real estate that you want to purchase. Any real estate. I am a licensed realtor, and I can help you with any real estate, again, that you want to purchase. The reason why I talk about land so much, one, is because there is a great need for the increase of land ownership. That's the first thing. And secondly, there's such a large audience for people who are interested in purchasing land and they don't know what to do. And very few people are telling them what to do. So they want to become landowners. They want to graduate into that area, but nobody's giving them an idea of how to do that, of how to benefit from that. I'm here and I want to help you to be able to do that. So I'm hoping that that's making sense to you. That's why I do it. Because I'm a land professional, I want to help you to be able to do it. A lot of people have come to me and said, well, if I could have just got someone to help me, but nobody would help me with it. I went to my bank. They didn't know anything about it. I went to that person. They didn't know anything about it. So I appreciate the fact that you are able to help me with that. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. And so I want to put away any dogmas that may be involved with people not wanting to purchase land, being afraid of purchasing land. This is the time to purchase land. I'm here to help you with it. I want to do everything I can to open up your thoughts, your mind, your understanding, to let you know this is the time to do it, to let you know all the different ways that you can benefit from doing it, how you can monetize it, how it can work for you in various ways. I'm not saying to you own land and not own a house. I'm saying to you, you can own your house and own land too. Specifically, having your home on your land, buying a home that has several acres and surveying it so that your home is on 5 acres and the rest of your land you can use for monetization or for agricultural or for whatever purpose you intend. Just creating multiple usage of the land. Okay, well, now that we've gone through that, I want to hit one more thing before we close out. This has been, I've enjoyed every moment of this. And I'm hoping that if you didn't get a chance to get in on the last recording, that you'll get a chance to see that. So this question is, what are the initial steps to take when considering purchasing land? I am so sorry. I did not see that there. I got to stop doing that. Okay. So the initial steps that you take, one of them is you want to understand the market. Okay. In that location. So you firstly, you want to determine why you want to purchase land. Go ahead and define your purpose in purchasing land. Well, I want to buy land because I want to have my home there. I want to buy land that already has a home on it, but I wanted to have several acres of land. Okay. And the reason why I want it that way is because I want to live there, but I also want to grow agriculture, or I want to live there, but I also want to lease it out for solar farming. I want to live there, but I also want to raise cattle, or I want to have water towers. Let me tell you, that's going to be water towers, going to be really beneficial, very beneficial in the near future. Okay. So you define why you want to purchase the land. Then you want to understand the market, the location, the type of land that you're interested in. Okay. So you want to buy land, you want to put your home there, or you want to buy land that already has a home, and you want to maybe survey it so you can use other parts of land for various purposes. Okay, so you want to check with zoning to find out what's prohibited. That's the wisest way to do it. So if you try to find out everything that's allowed, that's going to take you forever. So what you want to do is look for what's prohibited. What is prohibited? What's the prohibited use on this land? Okay, and then once you find out the list of things that are prohibited, that will let you know whether or not the purpose in which you intend for the land that the home and land that you purpose will be fulfilled with purchasing that land. So that's the very first step. Define what type of land you want to buy. You want to buy land with a home already on it, and you want to use the land, the other land, for what purposes? You want to live in the house and at least 5 acres. Okay, yeah, got that. That's for your living, for your residence. What do you want to do with the rest of the land? What are your intentions? You want to create non-performance income? In what way? Okay. Then you go to, like I said, the zoning office in that area, and you find out what's prohibited. Because if what it is that you intend to do with the land to monetize it is prohibited, it's not going to be economically feasible for you to purchase that land if you're just going to live in the house and acreage, if that's not what you're looking for. Now, if you're okay with that, then that's perfect. I would advise that, because you're going to find that it's a wise decision for you to make now. And I'm choosing my words very carefully. But when I tell you this is the best time to purchase land, not just because it's advantageous for you, but because it's a wise move. If you play chess, this is about 3 moves down the road. You should purchase land now. Okay, so the next thing you want to do when you're talking about considering purchasing land is determine your budget, including any additional taxes or legal fees or development costs that may be involved in the portion of the land that you want to monetize. So you want to monetize a portion of the land as well, but you need to see what amount of cost is involved with you monetizing that land. Are you following what I'm saying? Okay. Okay, so you want to determine your budget, and that includes, so you're looking at the house note, the taxes, the insurance. Okay, you got that. Yeah. But remember, you're buying the house that's on a significant amount of land because you not only want to live there, but chances are you want to monetize that land in one of various ways that you can do it. Non-performance income is what I'm always talking about. There may be additional costs or taxes or legal fees or developmental costs that are involved that you may be responsible for carrying the burden of until after you've entered into a lease with a particular corporation for that land. Okay, so you also want to make sure you check out the financing options, and that's what I always talk to you about at the top of our class. Various ways, and I always call out the names of lenders who specialize in loaning on large amounts of acreage, whether there's a home on the land or whether it's just several acres, whether it's raw land that's undeveloped. I always list the names of companies that can help you with that. I also have for you companies. So we talked about the qualifications before, but now we've got some companies that a lot of people would, it's not predatory lending. Let me say that to you quickly. But they're companies that cut out the red tape. If you are a corporation or a LLC, yeah, and you want to purchase land, I would suggest you purchase it in your company name. And let me suggest to you some companies that don't take you through all of the red tape of credit criteria and requirements. And they're not going to take you through all of that. They're going to look at your plan, and they're going to say, how long do you need the money for? Now, these are companies that you're going to either need to refinance with, or you would need to take a portion of your land and monetize it so that you can use it to pay off that loan. They're normally short-term loans, 2 to 5 years. They don't have necessarily higher interest rates, but there are 2 to 5 years short-term loans that you pay off. So you could refinance that land once you get it. You could sell a portion of it. You can monetize it. And sometimes when you monetize it and they enter into the lease, you can negotiate getting a certain advancement on the lease. So it might be a 20-year lease, but you can get a certain advancement on the lease depending on what type of lease it is. You can do all of those types of things in order to pay off the short-term loan. But if you are a company organized under articles of incorporations, or if you have the operations, then you can get this type of financing to purchase your land, whether you're going to use it for commercial properties or not, purposes or not. You can purchase it in your company name, get that kind of financing to bypass all the headaches. And the next time we get a chance to talk, I want to talk to you about different auction platforms, specifically servicelink.com. You want to go there. Service is servicelinkauction.com. You want to go there because they take all the red tape out. If they have the property, it's because it's REO, it's real estate owned by one of the banks or mortgage companies, and they place it in their in their hands for deposition to sell it. Okay, so when you see it on their platform, you can go to the county courthouse to the county seat of wherever that property is located. If it's in Alabama and it's in Birmingham, then you go to Jefferson County. You go to the records room there. You can go to the tax assessor's office and look at the last deed that was there that was conveyed, or you can look at when the bank got it back. And all you got to do is go to that deed and look at the amount that the bank paid to get it. And when you get ready to bid on ServiceLink Auctions properties, start right there with in your bidding process at the amount that the bank paid to get it back. And that deed will show you the amount that they had to pay to gain vesting interest in that property to get it back from foreclosure or from tax sale. Yeah, that's where you start your bid. And you could bid on the land. It could be worth a whole lot more. But if, let's say, the bank paid $20,000 to get that land back, and it's 50 acres, then when you make your offer at Service Link auction, you start right there, that 20,000 or 25,000 to get that land. And that will put you in a position of closer to the amount that the bank had to expend in order to get the land. And a lot of times that's where they start their bidding. So, it's a bidding process. So even if your bid is the highest one, then what they do is they reach out to you and give you a call and say, listen, your bid was the highest one. Are you ready to go forward? Well, yeah. Okay, so I've got my company name. I've got my articles of incorporation. Everybody that's on the articles is on the company thing. I've got my bank account that also has the same name on it that's on the articles of incorporation. And we have the funds in the account to pay for the land. Or we have 10% of the funds in that account to pay for the land. And we're going to pay for the other amount at closing. Or we have not 10%, I'm sorry, we have 70%. You want at least 70% in your account that you can verify to pay for the land. You're going to pay for the other part in cash or what have you. Once they verify those funds, it's wiser to have it all in that account. It's wiser to just put it all in that account, give them the bank statement that shows that you have all of that money in that account. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That we're not sending no verification to the bank. We're not doing none of that. You give the statement to the coordinator that shows your balance, that covers it. On the statement, it's the same name that's on the offer. On the offer, it's the same name that's on the bank statement, that's on the corporate name. Bam, you're good to go. You don't have to be a corporation, but that's the best way to buy it. Best way, you can buy it in your name, as long as your name and the name on your account are synonymous. Then you can submit your offer. They're going to verify they're going to get your bank statement. Your bank statement will show the amount that covers the price of the house. You're good to go. They'll close you, you sign, that's it. It is such an easy process. So if you want to pay for properties cash, I suggest just servicelinkauction.com. I can help you with that as well. So reach out to me. That is one of the easiest ways to you bypass all the qualifying, all the rigmarole, all the hoopla, all of that. You got the money, you can buy it. It's just that easy. Okay, it looks like we might be running out of time, so I am going to pause for a second to see just how long we've been on. Okay. All right. I think that covers everything. And we're going to pick up the next time we get together with what are the different types of land ownership. So I think some people want to know the best way for them to purchase the land. Now, I tell you, from experience, purchasing the land in your company name and then transitioning it into a trust. So if you've got like a trust, sometimes if you've ever seen some of my stuff, you'll see Jacqueline Enterprise Inc. on it. So that Jacqueline Enterprise Inc. it encompasses every company that I have a vested interest in. All of those companies are connected under the umbrella of Jacqueline Enterprise Inc. Yeah. And that's in a trust. So you can take your different assets that are owned by your different companies, and then you put them inside of your trust. Have a trust created. And then that way you can operate when you need to move monies about, when you need to maybe in your will leave a vested interest to your beneficiaries. You can do it through the trust under the protection of even though it's limited protection. Even with a trust, you can do it in the trust. There are so many things that we can talk about. What I do here in these courses is just give you a general idea of some of the information that I have available to you to assist you. And that gives you an opportunity to reach out to me for anything that you may be interested in. You can reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to assist you further. I am a land professional. It is my job to assist you in any way. If you own land and you want to sell it, or you want to maintain your ownership, but you want to monetize it, I can help you with those things. I'm here for you. It's what I do all day, every day. National Land Realty. You really want to check us out. I think you'll be very, very, very impressed. So the things that we talked about in this course, just to sum it up, how to graduate to land ownership. And when we talk about there, we're talking about the financing, how to get the financing, different companies that it's to their advantage to finance you, and the reason why, who will guarantee them. You can use your lender if you want to and get them approved so that they would be under the protection of um, that risk support with Farmer Mac. We talked about the initial steps to consider when purchasing land. We also talked about how you've got some companies that will loan to B2B, loan to your corporation, short term, make it easy for you. And lastly, we talked about how to purchase land without the headache through ServiceLink Auction, servicelinkauction.com. I can walk you through the whole process and assist you with all of it. So we've talked about things that could help the purchaser. And on the previous recording, a different link, we talked about how to help the seller to sell their property at top price or to monetize it, maintain their ownership, and still be able to create revenue, non-performance revenue from their land at top prices. I'm hoping that this information is helping you. I'm coming every week with this information to assist you. Each time I do this, there's a little ebook that goes with each time we record one of these. You can get the ebook to go with it. So you just need to reach out to me and I will make it available to you so that you can get the ebook that you can go over and over and over, back and forth, just reviewing the information. That's what I'm here for. So I am going to close out now. Okay, checking. Yeah, I don't see anything there. I did see a hand earlier, but we answered that question, so I don't have to worry about that. Don't see anybody in the chat. All right. And this second was done on YouTube Live. So while I was with those who were inside the Zoom with me, we also streamed onto YouTube Live for those who may be watching it from there. You can always reach out to me. You can put a question in a comment. I always make my phone number available to you so you can reach out to me. And if all else fails, you can reach me on the platform of National